On the day of the engagement party, the fiancé Jiang Linshue's old flame, Song Yunxian, suddenly appeared at the venue. Just as the banquet was about to begin, Jiang Linshue suddenly disappeared. A frantic Bai Wuji searched everywhere, only to finally see his fiancée in the hotel parking lot, begging her old flame for a kiss. The hem of Jiang Linshue's white formal dress was spread across the concrete floor like a withered lily. Her high heels had been kicked off at some point, and her bare ankles looked piercingly white under the cold light, her eyes glistening with tears. After a passionate kiss, Jiang Linshue looked at Song Yunxian, her eyes red-rimmed, her voice filled with guilt. "I'm sorry, Yunxian. It's all my fault. It's all on me for making you suffer so much. Linshue, you said you would marry me. So why are you marrying Bai Wuji?" Song Yunxian shouted, his eyes just as red. I'm sorry, Yunxian." Jiang Linshue's tears began to fall. She took Song Yunxuan's hand, placed it on her own cheek, and pleaded, "Yunxian, hit me. Hit me until you're not angry anymore, okay? I was wrong." With that, she slid down Song Yunxuan's body and knelt directly in front of him. "You should go." Song Yunxian lifted his head and wiped away a tear. "I shouldn't have disturbed your wedding. I'll leave now." As he spoke, Song Yunxian made a move to leave. But Jiang Linshue wouldn't have it. She threw her arms around his calf and began to beg. "Yunxian, I'm not getting married anymore. I'll break off the engagement with Bai Wuji, okay? I'll marry you." Song Yunxian turned his head back. "Linshue, I don't want to make things difficult for you." "No, it's not difficult," Jiang Linshue said quickly. "My relationship with Bai Wuji is just a marriage of convenience. I only agreed to his proposal because I thought he was nice to me. He's never even touched me." Hearing this, Song Yunxuan's eyes visibly brightened. "Linshue, does that mean you've been waiting for me all this time?" Jiang Linshue nodded shyly. As Song Yunxuan's hand caressed Jiang Linshue's cheek, Bai Wuji felt the ring box in his pocket. He suddenly found it all laughable. In the past 3 hours, he had imagined countless possible accidents, but he never expected to witness his own engagement ring become a joke with his own eyes. "Jiang Linshue, oh, Jiang Linshue, you're really something." Bai Wuji turned and walked away, his face devoid of expression. Back in the banquet hall, Father Bai walked up and saw his son's cold face. "What's wrong with you? Where's Linshue?" Bai Wuji forced a slight smile. "She'll be here soon." Unaware of the situation, Father Bai nodded. "Then why the long face? You're getting engaged. Shouldn't you be a little happier?" "I'm happy. Why wouldn't I be?" Bai Wuji let out a hollow laugh. "You might be happy, but your mother was so angry she didn't even come. Since you're getting engaged anyway, I won't say any more." Father Bai patted Bai Wuji's shoulder. After the host finished his opening remarks, Jiang Linshue finally arrived, belatedly, holding Song Yunxuan's hand. "Child, where did you run off to? Why are you so late?" Father Jiang scolded Jiang Linshue with a displeased look. Linshue? Who is this?" Mother Jiang asked, seeing Song Yunxian. "He's my brother," Jiang Linshue blurted out subconsciously. "What is the meaning of this? Holding on to each other. Let go immediately," Father Jiang berated. "Do you know what time it is? Get on stage. Don't keep Wuji waiting." Jiang Linshue turned and said gently to Song Yunxian, "Wait for me here by yourself for a bit. I'll be back soon." Okay." Song Yunxian nodded obediently. Jiang Linshue's expression then shifted from gentle to cold as she walked briskly onto the stage. This Jiang Linshue has no manners at all, being late to an occasion like this. "I really don't know what you see in her," Father Bai said with a grim face. Father Bai had actually always been against this marriage, but his son was hopelessly in love, and he wouldn't listen to his parents' many attempts to persuade him. In the end, he had no choice but to agree. Bai Wuji glanced at the stage and smiled faintly, then walked up with his hands in his pockets. At this moment, Jiang Linshue didn't notice Bai Wuji at all. Her gaze was fixed on Song Yunxian in the audience, exchanging flirtatious looks with him. Just moments before, Song Yunxian had told her that he hoped she would marry Bai Wuji. She had asked why. The answer she received was, he find it exciting. Because Song Yunxian liked it, Jiang Linshue had agreed on the spot. Although her body was here now, her heart was already elsewhere. The two of them stood on either side of the host. Just as the host was about to raise the microphone to speak, Bai Wuji suddenly snatched it from him. The move left everyone baffled. Then, Bai Wuji brought the microphone to his lips and began to speak. Distinguished guests, thank you all for coming to my engagement party. But I'm sorry, I'm calling off this engagement. As soon as these words were spoken, the entire hall was in an uproar. The first to stand up was Father Jiang. Wuji, what did you say? You're calling it off? Mother Jiang also stood up, her face anxious. Wuji, what's wrong? Did you two have a fight? Father Bai also stood, not knowing what kind of scene his son was making. Bai Wuji, what is the meaning of this? You're the one who wanted to get engaged, and you're the one calling it off. What do you mean by this? Are you trying to humiliate me in public? Jiang Linxue walked up to Bai Wuji and yelled. As she spoke, she raised her hand to slap Bai Wuji, but he dodged to the side, and with a backhand, slapped Jiang Linxue instead. Smack! Jiang Linxue let out a miserable shriek and was slapped to the ground. Seeing his daughter get hit, Father Jiang roared, Bai Wuji, what are you doing? He and Mother Jiang then rushed to Jiang Linxue's side. Seeing that half of his daughter's face was swollen from the slap, Father Jiang was overcome with rage. He stood up, pointed at Bai Wuji, and berated him. Bai Wuji, are you insane? You dare hit Shui? Smack! 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 4 consecutive slaps cleared the fury from Father Jiang's eyes. Bai Wuji narrowed his eyes. I say, old man, are you used to throwing your weight around? How dare you speak to me like that? Are you out of your mind? Smack! With another full swinging slap, Bai Wuji roared, stand up fucking straight when you talk to me. Who do you think you're talking to? Father Jiang was slapped into silence. He was clear-headed now. He had truly been blinded by rage just now. To actually dare to shout at the young master of the Bai family. The nerve. He knew very well that the reason the Jiang family could throw its weight around in S-City was entirely due to the Bai family support. Otherwise, a family like theirs wouldn't even rank in the top 10 in S-City. Wuji, Mother Jiang stood up and asked with a trembling voice. What on earth is going on? Why is this happening? Bai Wuji had someone bring him a chair. He sat down and crossed his legs. I'd say I've treated your Jiang family well, wouldn't you? Father and Mother Jiang exchanged a glance and quickly nodded. I told you to speak. Have you gone mute now? Speak. Bai Wuji roared. Father and Mother Jiang trembled in fear. Father Jiang stammered. Good. No. Very good. Oh, if it's so good, then why did your daughter betray me? Betray? Wuji, could there be some kind of misunderstanding here? Mother Jiang's eyes widened in disbelief. Bai Wuji sneered. I knew you wouldn't admit it. After speaking, he snapped his fingers, and a video instantly appeared on the large screen behind him. As soon as the video began, Jiang Linxue and Song Yunxian, who was in the audience, widened their eyes. They knew this video very well, because it was what they had just done. Don't play it. Turn it off. Turn it off now. No longer caring about the pain in her face, Jiang Linxue rushed forward to try and stop the video, but she was slapped to the ground again by Bai Wuji. Let everyone see just how cheap and shameless the CEO of S-City's Jiang Group is. Wuji, can we talk about this at home? Please, let's talk at home. Turn off the video, Jiang Linxue said frantically, slumping to the floor and grabbing Bai Wuji's pant leg. What's scared now? A moment ago, you were so afraid your little lover would leave. Bai Wuji slowly crouched down, grabbed a fistful of Jiang Linxue's hair, causing her to grimace in pain, her face forced to look at him. When I loved you, you could scream and shout at me, and I wouldn't hold it against you. Now that I don't love you, what the hell do you think you are? I'm sorry, Yunxian, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gotten engaged to Bai Wuji. I was wrong. I'll go and break off the engagement with him right now. You should go. I'm the one disturbing you. No, that's not it. I was wrong. Yunxian, don't go. The video continued to play, and the people in the banquet hall watched clearly, pointing and murmuring amongst themselves. Damn, I never would have thought. The rumors all said the CEO of Jiang Group was so high and mighty, but it turns out she's just this kind of trash. Isn't that the truth? I never expected it either. A woman like this can be a CEO? I think the Jiang Group's days are numbered. The Jiang Group is probably finished. Cheating on the young master of the Bai family. With the Jiang Group's eyes, they're nothing in front of the Bai family. Jiang, look at what your daughter has done. Just then, Father Bai strode in, his face full of fury. My Bai family has not treated you poorly. Is this how you handle things? Jiang quickly waved his hands. No, it's not like that, President Bai. I didn't know about this either. Hey, look over there. Isn't that the other man? A guest in the audience pointed at Song Yunxian. I think it really is, huh? He actually dares to be here. What nerve? Song Yunxian felt a chill crawl up his spine from the whispers. He turned, wanting to escape, but Bai Wuji had already arranged for men to block his way, directly dragging him before Bai Wuji. Seeing Song Yunxian, Jiang Linxue, with a sudden burst of strength, shielded him with her body. Bai Wuji, if you have a problem, direct it at me. Don't touch him. Clap, clap, clap. Bai Wuji clapped with a smile. See that? This is what you call true love. I haven't even said anything, and she's already protecting him. Whoa, young Master Bai, this is all a misunderstanding, a complete misunderstanding. I'll drag this wretch away right now and make her kneel and apologize to you. With that, Father Jiang moved to pull Jiang Linxue away. But Jiang Linxue dodged him. Dad, stay out of this. Linxue, I'm so scared. Song Yunxian hid behind Jiang Linxue, putting on a frightened act. Don't be afraid. I'm here. He won't dare to touch you. Jiang Linxue gave Song Yunxian a reassuring look and said confidently, then turned her gaze to Bai Wuji. Bai Wuji, you see it now? The one I love isn't you. There's no need for you to keep pestering me. Let's just end it here. You wretched girl, what are you saying? Father, Jiang nearly leaped into the air upon hearing her words. He pointed a finger at Jiang Linxue and roared, You dare say that again? Dad, I don't like Bai Wuji at all. Why are you forcing me? The one I love is Yunxian. You scoundrel. Father Jiang clutched his chest, gasping for breath. Old man, old man. Mother Jiang quickly supported her husband, then pointed a trembling finger at Jiang Linxue. You wretched child, Wuji is so good to you. How could you say such things? Jiang Linxue sneered. Good to me. Isn't it just because their Bai family is rich? Without them, Yunxian and I can manage the Jiang Corporation just as well. Unfilial. Daughter. You unfilial daughter. How could my Jiang family have a daughter like you? Father Jiang gritted his teeth. Bai Wuji, I admit I used to like you, but that was only because I heard Yunxian got married abroad, so I gave you a chance. But now, since Yunxian isn't married, our engagement ends here. Fine, then let's end it here. As soon as Bai Wuji's words fell, a smirk appeared on the lips of Song Yunxian, who was hiding behind Jiang Linxue. And this very scene was caught by Bai Wuji. Bai Wuji's lips also curved up slightly as he walked towards Song Yunxian. What are you doing? Jiang Linxue once again stood in front of Song Yunxian, glaring furiously at Bai Wuji. Get out of the way. Bai Wuji gave Jiang Linxue's head a dismissive push, shoving her aside. Walking up to Song Yunxian, Bai Wuji sneered. What? A piece of trash like Jiang Linxue broke off the engagement with me, and you think you have a chance? Song Yunxian didn't dare to speak, merely staring at Bai Wuji's face, his eyes darting about nervously. Suddenly, Bai Wuji threw an arm around Song Yunxuan's neck, startling him. He then walked him to a table like they were brothers. Bai Wuji picked up a chopstick and raised his hand. Know what this is? Song Yunxian swallowed and nodded. Good, as long as you know, Bai Wuji shouted, then grabbed one of Song Yunxuan's arms with one hand, slamming his hand down on the table, fingers spread. Then, Bai Wuji's hand holding the chopstick came down hard. The chopstick stabbed straight through Song Yunxuan's hand and was then immediately pulled out. In an instant, blood spurted out like a fountain. Song Yunxuan's blood-curdling scream filled the entire hall. The sight made the guests all take a step back, afraid of getting caught in the crossfire. Save me. Linxue, save me. Seeing her beloved being tortured so brutally, Jiang Linxue's eyes were wide with fury. She charged forward, pushed Bai Wuji aside, and quickly pressed Song Yunxuan's hand against her own chest. Bai Wuji, you bastard. If anything happens to Yunxian, I will never forgive you. Ambulance, call an ambulance. Jiang Linxue held Song Yunxian in her arms, comforting him. Don't be afraid. Yunxian, the ambulance is coming. It's coming right away. Bai Wuji tossed the chopstick on the floor in disgust, then took a wet wipe from his bodyguard to clean his hands. What damned bad luck to think I'd get cheated on one day. After saying that, Bai Wuji turned and walked back onto the stage. In the end, it was Jiang Linxue who called the ambulance herself. 2 stretchers were brought out, one for Father Jiang and one for Song Yunxian. As she was leaving, Jiang Linxue gritted her teeth and threatened, "Bai Wuji, you just wait. I will make you pay." Although the words were spoken, everyone present looked at Jiang Linxue as if she were a fool. After they left, Bai Wuji took the microphone. "Everyone, you have all seen what happened between me and the Jiang family. From now on, my Bai family will have no relationship with the Jiang family. If you have a score to settle, settle it. If you have a grievance, air it." With that, Bai Wuji threw the microphone down and walked straight off the stage. Under the support of the Bai group over the years, the Jiang group could be said to have seized and plundered, earning the wrath of the people in S City, but no one dared to confront them directly, for no other reason than the behemoth behind them, the Bai family. But now, the young master of the Bai family had spoken. He would no longer concern himself with the Jiangs. If that was the case, some groups began to have ideas. In a hospital room, Song Yunxian lay on the bed, holding his bandaged hand. Jiang Linxue sat by the bedside, looking worriedly at Song Yunxian on the bed. Just then, Song Yunxian suddenly opened his eyes and sat up. Then he threw his arms around Jiang Linxue, who was sitting by the bed, and pleaded, "Linxue, don't go." "I'm not going. I'm right here, Yunxian." Jiang Linxue hugged Song Yunxian dotingly and patted his back. With a guilty look on his face, Song Yunxian said in a low voice, "I'm sorry, Linxue. It's my fault you broke up with Bai Wuji." Jiang Linxue was unconcerned. "It's all right, Yunxian. I never liked him anyway. It's better that we broke up." A look of pleasant surprise appeared on Song Yunxuan's face. "Really, Linxue?" Jiang Linxue looked serious. "Of course it's true. The one I love is you. Linxue, you're so good to me." Song Yunxian hugged Jiang Linxue and kissed her on the lips. And just at that moment, outside the room, Mother Jiang burst in with a face full of fury. "Jiang Linxue, you animal. Your father is lying unconscious in the next room, and you're here billing and cooing with this bastard. You animal." As she spoke, Mother Jiang walked up and slapped Jiang Linxue across the face. Because of Bai Wuji's earlier slap, this one stung Jiang Linxue painfully. Jiang Linxue immediately stood up, her brow furrowed slightly. "Mom, the doctor said Dad just fainted from a fit of anger. Yunxian lost so much blood. What's wrong with me keeping him company? I'll go to Dad's room in a bit." "You rebellious child. What kind of spell has he cast on you? Even now, you are still so deluded. You're about to destroy our perfectly good family." Jiang Linxue also became a little angry. "Mom, what are you talking about? How is the family being destroyed? Is it wrong for me to pursue my own happiness? I've told you before, I have the ability to run the Jiang group well, and besides, I have Yunxian to help me." Mother Jiang was almost moved to laughter by her anger. She pointed at Jiang Linxue. "Good. Well done, Jiang Linxue. This homewrecker is more important than your own father. Is that it?" "I never said Yunxian is more important than Dad. I already said I'll go see Dad in a moment. Also, Yunxian is not a homewrecker," Jiang Linxue said with righteous indignation. Mother Jiang's heart grew cold. She could never have imagined that the daughter she gave birth to could be such a scoundrel, disregarding her own father for a man. "Fine, Jiang Linxue. Just stay here and accompany him. You just go ahead and accompany him." After saying this, Mother Jiang turned and left the room. "Linxue, you should go see Uncle," Song Yunxian said, tugging at Jiang Linxue's arm. Jiang Linxue thought for a moment and shook her head. "No need. The doctor said Dad's condition isn't serious. You, on the other hand, have lost too much blood. It's all right, Linxue. Go see Uncle. Don't make Annie angry," Song Yunxian said, patting Jiang Linxue's hand. Jiang Linxue threw her arms around Song Yunxian. "Yunxian, you're so good to me. If only they were all as understanding as you." "Go on, Linxue." Jiang Linxue thought for a moment and finally nodded. "All right then, Yunxian. You wait for me. I'll be right back." "Okay." Song Yunxian nodded with a smile in his eyes. But just as Jiang Linxue was about to leave, Song Yunxian suddenly clutched his hand, his voice filled with pain. "Ah, my hand hurts so much." Jiang Linxue quickly turned back. "What's wrong, Yunxian? Why does it suddenly hurt?" Song Yunxian managed to squeeze out 2 tears. I don't know, Linxue. It just hurts so much." "Then you wait. I'll go get the doctor." With that, Jiang Linxue hurried out to call for a doctor. As soon as Jiang Linxue left, Song Yunxian glanced at the doorway, then lowered his hand and lay back down leisurely. In the general manager's office of the Bai Group's S-City branch. At this moment inside the office, Bai Wuji was sitting in his chair, leisurely drinking tea. Just then, his secretary, Chun Ming, walked in from outside the office, holding a stack of documents. "Mr. Bai, the investigation is complete. Song Yunxian did indeed study abroad, but the university is not well known. It's ranked somewhere around 1200. As he spoke, Chun Ming placed the documents on a desk. "Good heavens! Ranked over 1,200th? Bai Wuji picked up the file and took a look. He chuckled when he saw Song Yunxuan's experience abroad. "I really thought this Song Yunxian must be someone special for Jiang Linxue to risk offending me over him. Turns out he's just a piece of shit." After reading it, Bai Wuji casually tossed the file onto the desk. "Boss Bai, should we make a move?" Chun Ming asked respectfully. Bai Wuji waved his hand. "No need. Let's just sit back and watch." Jiang Linxue used to act so tough toward other groups because she was leaning on our Bai Corporation. Now that we're not backing her anymore, I like to see if her attitude is still so tough. Chun Ming nodded. "Indeed, that woman, Jiang Linxue, isn't very bright. She always pushes people to their limits. Now that we're staying out of it, the groups she oppressed will probably retaliate. Isn't that what we wanted to see?" Bai Wuji smiled faintly. "Besides, doesn't she still have Song Yunxian to help her?" It was just as Bai Wuji had predicted. Without the backing of the Bai Corporation, some small companies really started to compete with the Jiang Corporation. However, thanks to the foundation they had previously built and the fact that they were only competing with small companies, the Jiang Corporation wasn't significantly affected. Although the impact wasn't major, there was no shortage of smart people within the Jiang Corporation. In addition, the incident at the engagement banquet had become widespread gossip. This caused some panic and unease within the group. In the office, Jiang Linxue's secretary, Sun Weiwei, handed a document to her. "President Jiang, Huiyu Company has also unilaterally terminated our contract." Jiang Linxue scoffed. "There are at least 80, if not 100, companies that want to work with the Jiang Corporation. I only gave the material supplier contract for this project to Zhang Huiyu because I thought he was an honest man." After speaking, Jiang Linxue signed her name directly on the document. "Put the word out. We're starting the bidding process for a new supplier for this project." Sun Weiwei looked like she wanted to say something, but hesitated, ultimately just nodding her head. After Sun Weiwei left, Jiang Linxue's phone suddenly received a text message. It was from the bank. It said that over 8 million had been spent on her bank card. Then, a notification popped up on her green bubble. It was a photo sent by Song Yunxian. A Rolls-Royce. Song Yunxian, "Linxue, what do you think? Is it beautiful?" Over 8 million was nothing to Jiang Linxue. She sent a doting voice message. "It's beautiful. You have great taste." Song Yunxian, "Linxue, I also saw a Ferrari I like. Can I buy it?" Jiang Linxue gestured magnanimously. "Of course, buy it." Song Yunxian, "Moi. Linxue, you're the best." After flirting for a while, Jiang Linxue's phone kept buzzing with text messages. Feeling annoyed, she simply turned off the text notifications. Previously, whenever the Jiang Corporation announced a call for bids, countless companies would swarm in, trying every possible way to win the project. But this time, to Jiang Linxue's surprise, not a single company registered for the bidding. Not only that, but in the past few days, there had been a continuous stream of unilateral contract cancellations. Although the other parties paid the breach of contract fees, compared to the losses from the stall projects, that money was just a drop in the bucket. In her office, Jiang Linxue slammed the file violently onto the floor. Is it the Bai Corporation? Is this Bai Wuji's revenge? Is he even a man? Is this the only kind of trick he knows how to use? Jiang Linxue's face was ferocious with resentment. With more than 10 suppliers canceling their cooperation, all of the Jiang Corporation's projects were put on hold, unable to begin construction. Sun Weiwei, stood by respectfully, not daring to speak. Bastard! I'm going to find him. Unable to contain her anger, Jiang Linxue grabbed her bag from the desk and left the office. In the lobby of the Bai Corporation's branch office, Jiang Linxue stormed in and tried to get into the president's private elevator. But before her hand could touch the button, a security guard stopped her. "This is the president's private elevator. Please use the one over there." Jiang Linxue was taken aback. She pointed to herself. "You don't know who I am?" The security guard smiled. "Of course I do. You're Jiang Linxue, the president of the Jiang Corporation. Then you still dare to stop me? Why wouldn't I dare to stop you?" The guard laughed as if looking at an idiot, then said to the guard next to him, "Come on, tell our great President Jiang what our boss Bai said." The other guard cleared his throat. "Jiang Linxue and dogs are not allowed inside." His voice was very loud, loud enough for the entire lobby to hear. Jiang Linxue's face flushed red with anger, and she subconsciously looked around. She instinctively felt that everyone was looking at her, and indeed they were. News of the engagement banquet had already spread throughout the upper circles of S-City, and Jiang Linxue had been labeled with words like bitch. She could faintly hear the whispers of others. "Is that the president of the Jiang Corporation? So beautiful. What's the use of being beautiful, you ungrateful thing? President Jiang is bravely pursuing love. What do you all understand?" The preceding comments made Jiang Linxue want to find a hole to crawl into, until the last sentence was spoken, which actually made Jiang Linxue feel that she had not done anything wrong. "What's wrong? Is it wrong for me to pursue my own love? I'm not wrong." Thinking of this, Jiang Linxue let out a long breath and said calmly to the security guard, "I'm looking for your president for a matter. Do you have an appointment?" Jiang Linxue was taken aback. "An appointment? What else? Our president Bai is so busy. How could he have time for any random person?" The security guard shrugged, his meaning clear. How could Jiang Linxue not understand? She was so angry she wanted to raise her hand and slap him. But in the end, under Jiang Linxue's persistence, the security captain still informed Bai Wuji's secretary. The reply was that President Bai was letting her go up. In the office, Bai Wuji was sitting in his office chair with his legs crossed, playing a game. Just then, Jiang Linxue pushed the door open and entered with a furious expression, slamming both hands heavily on the desk and shouting, "Bai Wuji, what is the meaning of this? By what right do you make our suppliers terminate their contracts with our Jiang Corporation? Is this the only trick you have left? I'm warning you, cut out these little tricks. Trying to threaten me into changing my mind? Impossible." Bai Wuji was holding his phone with both hands. He raised his eyes to glance at Jiang Linxue. With a slight smile, Bai Wuji placed his phone on the desk. "Come, Linxue, I have something to say to you. Come here." Bai Wuji slowly stood up and beckoned to Jiang Linxue. Jiang Linxue's beautiful eyes widened as she asked, "What are you trying to do?" "What do you mean? What am I trying to do?" "I'm telling you why." Bai Wuji showed a harmless smile. "You'd better not try any tricks." Jiang Linxue threatened as she leaned her face closer. Just as Jiang Linxue was about to hear something, a sudden gust of wind came. With a slap, half of her face burned with pain. The force of the slap sent her spinning around twice before she sat directly on the floor. She held her face, looking at Bai Wuji in disbelief. You dare to hit me?" Bai Wuji looked completely exasperated. He quickly walked over to Jiang Linxue and pointed down at her. "I'm telling you, Jiang Linxue, I've known you for so long. It's only in these past few days that I've realized, have I been in love with a thing like you all this time? Simply brainless. Dare to hit you? I even hit your father, didn't you see? Did you not count how many times I slapped you that day? And you still have the face to come and question me. Let's not even say this has nothing to do with me. Even if it did, what are you going to do about it? Speak up. What can you do to me?" Jiang Linxue looked at Bai Wuji with hatred, but in the end, she couldn't say a word. "I'm telling you, Jiang Linxue, for someone of your caliber, I was blind to have fallen for you before. Now I'll make it clear to you. What happens between you and your little lover has nothing to do with me. Whether you two live or die has nothing to do with me. At most, I'll give 200 at your funeral. I won't even have time to burn paper money at your grave. Understand? Now immediately, get out of my office. What kind of trash thinks they can just come into my office?" After speaking, Bai Wuji turned without looking back, walked to his desk, and picked up the phone. Hello, security department? Let me tell you, if Jiang Linxue comes to the company again, just beat her out. If you can't, then you don't have to come to work anymore. Also, send someone up now and throw her out for me. Bai Wuji, you bastard, you can't do this to me. Jiang Linxue sat paralyzed on the floor, biting her lip with a look of grievance. Get lost, idiot. Bai Wuji adjusted the collar of his suit and walked out without even a glance at Jiang Linxue. Jiang Linxue didn't see Bai Wuji again, even as she was being dragged away by security. Kicked out of the Bai Corporation by security. A thought faintly emerged in Jiang Linxue's mind. If she were still Bai Wuji's girlfriend, she wouldn't be in such a sorry state. Touching her swollen face, the pain made Jiang Linxue gasp. Just then, Jiang Linxue's phone rang. Hello, President Jiang, it's not good. The directors are calling a board meeting to remove you as president. Sun Weiwei's anxious voice came from the other end of the line. What? Jiang Linxue's face fell, and she quickly said, I'm on my way back. Jiang Corporation conference room. At this moment, the atmosphere in the conference room was extremely oppressive. More than 10 directors of the Jiang Corporation sat around the conference table, with Jiang Linxue sitting at the head. President Jiang, you've seen the current situation of the Jiang Corporation. I don't think you are suitable to be the president anymore. A middle-aged director was the first to speak. That's right, CEO Jiang. The chairman's life is still hanging in the balance at the hospital. As his daughter, you should be taking care of him. I heard CEO Jiang has been all lovey-dovey with her little lover. The chairman is unconscious, and she, the daughter, has barely visited a few times. The directors all spoke one after another, their words making Jiang Linxue's face flush red. Smack! Jiang Linxue slammed one hand fiercely on the table and rebuked. Why didn't you say anything when I was making money for the group? Now that the group is in just a little trouble, you're all so eager to oust me. All right now. A director waved his hand dismissively. Did the group's previous profits have anything to do with your management? With the Bai Group support, even a pig in the CEO's seat could make money. I'm telling you, CEO Jiang, you don't really think you earned that money through your own ability, do you? If you really think so, then we must oust you, because I don't want to entrust my investment to an idiot. This director's words were merciless, a direct personal attack. You? Me what? I'm just saying it out loud. Which of the directors present doesn't think so? Is there anyone? CEO Jiang, I'll give you a piece of advice. If you're angry, resign on your own, and the group can still be saved. If you refuse to let go, then as far as I'm concerned, my only option is to withdraw my investment, a female director said with a grave expression. Me too, and me. If we pull out now, we can still make a little. If we don't, we'll probably lose the shirts off our backs. You're all bullying me too much, Jiang Linxue said, gritting each word through her teeth. CEO Jiang, I heard you went to the Bai Group before the meeting, but this look on your face. A shareholder said with a mocking expression, I'm afraid you hit a wall, didn't you? Ha ha ha. After speaking, this shareholder looked at the surrounding shareholders and laughed loudly. Smack! Finally, Jiang Linxue slammed her hand on the table, her face crimson. My Jiang family holds 57% of the shares in the Jiang Group. You have no right to oust me. Seeing Jiang Linxue's unyielding attitude, the shareholders' faces instantly turned cold. So, CEO Jiang plans to continue sitting in the CEO's chair? The third largest shareholder, second only to the Jiang family, said with a cold face. Yes, that's right. The Jiang Group belongs to our Jiang family, not you. You are just freeloaders. Jiang Linxue began to fight back tit for tat. The third largest shareholder's eyes widened with anger. Fine. Very good. Since it's come to this, there's no need for me to stay here. With that, he stood up and left the conference room directly. Following him, the shareholders left the conference room one after another. After everyone had gone, Jiang Linxue, in a fit of rage, swept all the documents from the table onto the floor, her face contorted. This bunch of bastards. They said nothing when we were making money, and now they all come to force my hand. Just then, the conference room door was suddenly pushed open. Song Yunxian stood quietly outside. His hand, which had been pierced through a few days ago, was still wrapped in gauze. Upon seeing Song Yunxian, Jiang Linxue immediately put on a joyful expression. Yunxian, you're here. Song Yunxian smiled and looked at the floor. What happened here? As he spoke, he wrapped an arm around Jiang Linxue's slender waist. Not only did Jiang Linxue not refuse, but she also leaned into his embrace. Yunxian, they're all bullying me. When will you come and help me? Song Yunxian was taken aback for a moment. Then a smile appeared on his face. I really want to help you, but this hand of mine. As he spoke, Song Yunxian raised his bandaged hand. Seeing it, Jiang Linxue held his hand with a pained expression, her eyes slightly red. I understand, Yunxian. I know you really want to help me. You should focus on healing. We can talk after your injury has recovered. Sigh. Song Yunxian sighed, his hand restlessly caressing Jiang Linxue's body. Linxue, I know your difficulties. I hear the Bai family is very powerful. Jiang Linxue looked up at Song Yunxian, her eyes full of adoration, and finally nodded. Song Yunxuan's eyes shifted as he asked again, Linxue, what about the Bai family's influence abroad? Jiang Linxue thought for a moment. Although the Bai family has influence abroad, it's far from being as strong as their power within the country. Is that so? Song Yunxian nodded thoughtfully. 1 month later, in the private room of a luxurious clubhouse in S City. Mr. Mike, I'd like to propose a toast to you. Jiang Linxue's face was flushed as she held a glass of red wine with both hands, speaking with a fawning expression to a black man beside her. Mike had an arrogant demeanor, leaning back in his chair and casually lifting his wine glass with one hand. He then said in broken Chinese, CEO Jiang, you are too kind. Song and I are good friends. Since you are his girlfriend, I will definitely help with this matter. Hearing this, Jiang Linxue's expression instantly turned to one of pleasant surprise. Then thank you so much, Mr. Mike. As she spoke, Jiang Linxue took a sip of red wine. Mike also smiled and took a light sip. At this moment, Song Yunxian spoke up. Linxue, Mike and I are good buddies. His family is a major clan in the United States. Helping you is nothing to him compared to the Bai family. Jiang Linxue nodded, her face full of gratitude. Thank you, Yunxian. Song Yunxian wrapped an arm around Jiang Linxue's waist with a casual expression. Linxue, you're being too polite. After all, I am your boyfriend. As he spoke, Song Yunxian hugged Jiang Linxue and chatted laughingly with Mike, his expression exactly like that of a close brother. After 3 rounds of drinks and 5 courses of food, just as the dinner was about to end, Mike suddenly said, I've heard that China's music culture is very popular. Since I have nothing to do today, I'd like to go have some fun. President Jiang, what do you think? At this point, Jiang Linxue's cheeks were flushed, clearly a little tipsy, but hearing that Mike wanted to go out, she subconsciously looked at Song Yunxian. Song Yunxian gave Jiang Linxue a reassuring look and said softly, Linxue, I'll go with you. Mike is a major client. We can't be poor hosts. Jiang Linxue, her little face red, obediently nodded. Mike, shall we go to the KTV in the clubhouse then? Of course. Mike's eyes gleamed as he said, Shall we go now? As you wish. Song Yunxian subconsciously glanced at Jiang Linxue. Jiang Linxue stood up at this moment. Then I'll go to the restroom first. Yunxian, you and Mike can wait for me in the lobby downstairs. Okay, Linxue. After speaking, Jiang Linxue left without even taking her phone and went straight to the restroom. The moment Jiang Linxue left the private room, Mike's expression instantly changed to one of worry. Song, is it really okay for us to do this? Mike, just trust me. This woman is very stupid. We'll make a score, split it 50-50, and live it up abroad. Although the Jiang Group's market value is constantly shrinking, this time, we'll each get at least this much. Song Yunxian held up one finger. What number is that? Mike asked with a frown. Song Yunxian slowly uttered a number. 10 million. Then he immediately added, dollars. Whoosh. Hearing this number, Mike sat up straight. There's that much. Of course, and that's a conservative estimate. Mike's small eyes kept darting around. That's 10 million US dollars. With this money, why would he still be a bodyguard? He could take the 10 million and live a life of leisure. Just then, the phone Jiang Linxue had left on the table vibrated. Song Yunshin looked and saw the caller ID was Mother. His expression instantly turned sour. "It's this damned old hag again, that bitch," Song Yunshin said with disgust, then directly blacklisted the number. The restroom. Jiang Linxue, her face crimson, walked out of the women's restroom. In the sink area, a young man was washing his hands. Seeing him, Jiang Linxue instantly became like a cat with its fur on end. "Bai Wuji, what are you doing here? Are you following me?" Bai Wuji had just turned off the faucet. Hearing the voice, he immediately turned around. Behind him, Jiang Linxue was pointing at him, her face full of anger. But before he could speak, Jiang Linxue continued, "Bai Wuji, you are truly disgusting. But so what? The one investing in the Jiang Group this time is the Max Group. You know the Max Group, right? A consortium that ranks in the top 10, even in the United States. Even your Bai family can't compare to a single one of their fingers." Originally, Bai Wuji couldn't be bothered to deal with this idiot. But upon hearing Max Group, Bai Wuji frowned. "You said the Max Group? What else?" Jiang Linxue said proudly. "So what if you know? As long as the Jiang Group secures the order from the Max Group, what can your Bai family do?" Bai Wuji chuckled. Congratulations, eh?" After saying that, he left the restroom directly. Jiang Linxue was stunned. What was going on? Shouldn't he be scared? Even if not scared, he should at least be shocked. That was the Max Group. Could it be that he didn't know? But how could that be possible? Just as Bai Wuji walked outside the private room, he suddenly thought of something. He gestured to his bodyguard. Then he whispered a few words in his ear before walking into the private room. Inside his room sat a young man with American features. The young man was dressed in a high-end custom suit, with blonde hair and blue eyes, and a sturdy build. He was John Max, the first-in-line heir to the Max family. Seeing Bai Wuji return, John had a look of delight. He pointed to a dish on the table. "Bai, come quickly, this dish is really delicious. You can't get authentic Chinese food like this in the restaurants in my country," he said while feasting heartily. "John, you're a direct descendant of the Max family. If you want to eat Chinese food, it shouldn't be hard to arrange, right?" John waved his hand. "Getting Chinese food is easy, but getting the authentic taste is rare. Every time I come here, the first thing I do is treat my stomach. Haha." After chatting for a while, Bai Wuji suddenly asked, "Hey John, I heard you're going to cooperate with the Jiang Group this time?" Hearing this, John looked up, puzzled. "What? The Jiang Group? What kind of company is that? I've never heard of it." Bai Wuji was very shrewd. Hearing John's words, he knew there were only 3 possibilities. One was that John was lying to him. Another was that Jiang Linxue was lying to him. And the last one was that Jiang Linxue had been fooled. Obviously, the first was impossible, and the second was also highly unlikely. Therefore, only the third possibility remained. "All right, but..." John looked up and said seriously, "The industry our family plans to expand in China this time. I intend to hand it over to your Bai Group. Isn't there an old saying in China, 'Don't let your own fertile water flow into others' fields'?" "Ha ha ha, John, you've really been in China for a long time." Bai Wuji laughed heartily. John raised his red wine glass and smiled slightly. "I like this country very much." For the next 2 hours, the two discussed the specific details of their cooperation. In the end, they reached a tacit agreement. Just then, the bodyguard suddenly knocked and entered. He leaned in and whispered something in Bai Wuji's ear. After hearing it, Bai Wuji looked a bit surprised, but then a smile appeared on his face. He said a few words to the bodyguard and had him leave. "Bai, what is it? Is it good news?" John asked like a curious child. "John, how about I take you to see a show tomorrow?" "See a show?" John was taken aback for a moment, then smiled. "China's opera culture has been passed down for thousands of years. It's definitely worth seeing." No. I'm inviting you to see a big show, not an opera, huh?" "Oh, then I'm really looking forward to it." In the KTV private room, Mike, Song Yunshin, and Jiang Linxue came out. Jiang Linxue was being held up by the 2 men, limp as a rag doll. As they walked, Mike said, "Song, is this really okay?" Song Yunshin looked around. "Mike, you're really too timid. We had fun today. I'll explain it to her tomorrow." "What if she finds out?" "That's a problem for later. Once the contract is signed and the money is in our account tomorrow, we'll be long gone." "Song, you really are a bastard." Jiang Linxue didn't hear a single word of their conspiracy and was dragged into the room by the two men. Early the next morning, Song Yunxian was awakened by a knock on the door. He subconsciously looked around and saw Mike lying on top of Jiang Linxue. Song Yunxian was horrified by this scene and immediately slapped Mike awake. "Are you crazy? Didn't I tell you to leave in the morning? Why are you still here? What if this idiot wakes up?" Song Yunxian chided in a low, angry voice. "Get dressed and leave quickly. I'll go get breakfast." Song Yunxian glared at Mike and hurried towards the door. Song Yunxian thought it was breakfast, but when he opened the door, he saw a large group of reporters outside, all pointing their cameras at him. Seeing Song Yunxian, the reporters seemed to go into a frenzy. "That's him. He's the man who was all over President Jiang at young Master Bai's wedding. It looks like President Jiang really is inside," one reporter said, pushing past Song Yunxian and rushing into the room. Only then did Song Yunxian react, but it was too late. A large group of reporters had already stormed in, taking pictures and photos of the room. Mike, who wasn't fully dressed yet, quickly covered his face with his hands when he saw the reporters enter, cursing, "Fuck. Look, isn't that the president of the Jiang group on the bed? Holy cow. President Jiang sure is wild. No wonder President Bai wanted to break off the engagement with her. Even I wouldn't want someone like this. Get out. Stop taking pictures. Stop it." Song Yunxian was frantic. He quickly stood in front of Jiang Linxue, trying to shield her body. But he was useless on his own. The reporters completely ignored him. Mike was also cowering in a corner, trembling. Just then, Jiang Linxue was also woken up by the commotion. She groaned and patted her head with her hand. She felt very dizzy, but the voices behind her sobered her up instantly. "President Jiang, could you please explain your relationship with these two gentlemen? President Jiang, what is your relationship with this black gentleman? President Jiang, do you think Mr. Bai was right to break off the engagement with you?" Jiang Linxue suddenly froze, her pupils shrinking abruptly. She mechanically lowered her head to look at herself, then let out a startled cry, scrambling to pull the blanket over and wrap herself up tightly. "I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. Mike, call the police. Mike, huh?" Song Yunxian turned his head to look, but where was Song Yunxuan's figure behind him? He ran away. Outside the door, Bai Wuji was leaning against the wall with an amused look on his face. Beside him was John. At this moment, John was looking with a cold face at Mike, who was being held on the ground by his bodyguards. Mike had a look of despair on his face and didn't dare to lift his head. "Fuck, Mike, you are a disgrace to the family. I am truly disappointed in you. When we get back to the United States, I will implement the most severe punishment for you." Hearing this, Mike's legs, which had been kneeling on the ground, suddenly went limp, and he collapsed directly onto the floor, his small, beady eyes staring at the floor in disbelief. "John, I didn't expect him to be your bodyguard," Bai Wuji said with a smile. "Bai, thank you. If it weren't for you, who knows what would have happened if I had let this bastard continue to stay by my side. I will make this bastard pay the price." Bai Wuji was unconcerned. "You can handle it as you see fit." At this moment, Bai Wuji's cell phone rang. He picked up his phone, looked at the caller ID, thought for a moment, and then answered. As soon as he put it to his ear, an anxious voice came from the other end of the line. Bai Wuji cleaned his ear and flicked it casually. "What does his death have to do with me? Your good daughter is having fun with her little lover at the hotel. Go find her." "Oh, you were blocked? Then there's nothing I can do." The voice on the other end of the phone was still talking, but Bai Wuji was getting a little impatient. "Was his death caused by me? If you think it was, then go ahead and sue me. Don't go on and on with me here. Don't think you can yell at me just because you're older. You know what your daughter has done. But then again, I actually feel balanced in my heart. After all, who would a person who doesn't even care about her own father's death care about?" After speaking, Bai Wuji directly hung up the phone and then blocked the number. "Bai, what's wrong?" Bai Wuji shook his head. "It's nothing, just an insignificant person." Inside the room, Jiang Linxue stared deadly at Song Yunxian. Just now, she had already understood what had happened. She never expected things to turn out this way. Sweat also broke out on Song Yunxuan's forehead. All his explanations were pale and powerless. Although Jiang Linxue was stupid, she was not a fool. She had been with Song Yunxian before, but he had never hurt her so much. The feeling in her body could not be faked. Unexpectedly, The man she deeply loved had actually personally given her to someone else. Jiang Linxue bit her lip to keep from crying. She said fiercely, Song Yunxian, you animal. Song Yunxian quickly knelt on the ground and hugged Jiang Linxue. Linxue, I was wrong. I was really wrong, Linxue. Jiang Linxue also came to her senses at this moment. She kicked Song Yunxian directly in the chest and shouted, You bastard, I love you so much. How could you do this to me? Linxue, I was just momentarily possessed. You, just forgive me this once. Song Yunxian was crying bitterly, but Jiang Linxue was not the same Jiang Linxue as before. She slapped Song Yunxian across the face and said with hatred, Get out. Get the hell out. Seeing that begging for mercy was not working, Song Yunxian simply stopped pretending. He stood up with a cold smile, a ferocious look on his face. You bitch, what are you pretending to be pure for? Song Yunxian pointed at Jiang Linxue and said word by word, Bai Wuji was so good to you. Didn't you still get with me? At first, I really thought you were so capable, but it turns out that it was Bai Wuji who helped you all along. What ability do you, Jiang Linxue, have? Without Bai Wuji, you are a piece of trash. Trash, you understand. The company has no orders. Someone like you. No one would even pay attention to you as a bar girl. They all think you're dirty. Don't you have any self-awareness? What are you pretending to be pure for? He pointed to himself. Now you're blaming me? Didn't you call me hubby over and over again before? Song Yunxuan's words stabbed into Jiang Linxue's heart one by one, but she was powerless to refute. During this time, she had actually felt some regret in her heart. Comparing Song Yunxian to Bai Wuji was like comparing heaven and earth. When she was with Bai Wuji, the company was thriving with a constant stream of orders. Moreover, Bai Wuji was very good to her, constantly surprising her and giving her luxury bags as if they were free. And what about Song Yunxian? He had nothing but the illusory title of White Moonlight in her heart. In business, Song Yunxian had not helped her one bit. All she knew was how to spend money. But when he heard that Song Yunxian had actually contacted the Max Group, he had thought Song Yunxian was the type to either stay silent or achieve something astounding in one fell swoop. He never expected this to be the result. It was only now that she realized how truly foolish she had been. At this thought, Jiang Linxue's face filled with despair. She picked up her phone and dialed 110. What are you doing? Song Yunxian tried to snatch the phone, but Jiang Linxue dodged her. Linxue, don't be impulsive. Song Yunxian was frightened. What she had done was illegal, not to mention. But Jiang Linxue wouldn't listen, saying directly, I'm calling the police. As the police officer escorted Song Yunxian away, they passed by Bai Wuji. Bai Wuji could clearly see the look of dejection on her face. The farce was over, and Bai Wuji's goal had been achieved. He glanced toward the room and was about to turn and leave. Just then, a voice suddenly stopped him. Wuji. Bai Wuji turned to see a fully dressed Jiang Linxue. Her face was pale, her hair disheveled, and she stood at the doorway, one hand resting on the frame for support. Well, CEO Jiang is out. Did you have a good time? Bai Wuji leaned against the wall with his arms crossed. With a wretched expression, Jiang Linxue slowly asked, It was you, wasn't it? Bai Wuji threw up his hands and admitted it outright. That's right, it was me. Had to let all the good netizens have a look, didn't I? Jiang Linxue gave a bitter laugh. Yes, after how I treated you, it's only right that you get your revenge. Then, Jiang Linxue suddenly asked a question. Bai Wuji, do you still love me? Buffed. Bai Wuji almost burst out laughing when he heard this. Love you? Oh, I love you to death. No, seriously, Jiang Linxue, I'm genuinely baffled. How does your brain even come up with a question like that? What I love about you? The fact that you cheated on me? Or do I love that you can give birth without a doctor, saving me the delivery fees? A fucking idiot. Bai Wuji waved a dismissive hand and turned to leave. Bai Wuji, Jiang Linxue shouted at his retreating back, then dropped to her knees on the floor. I regret it. I really regret it. Bai Wuji stopped in his tracks, but didn't turn around. You don't regret it. You just realize you're hopelessly stupid and your company is finished. That's all. No, that's not it. Jiang Linxue bit her lip, shaking her head repeatedly. Whether it is or not is unimportant. What's important is that I think it is. Understand? Not wanting to get any more entangled with her, Bai Wuji strode away. Oh, right, a reminder. Your mom called earlier. She said your dad died. She tried calling you, but you didn't pick up. My dad. Jiang Linxue froze. She didn't think Bai Wuji would joke about something like this. She rushed back into the room, found her phone, and dialed her mother's number. No answer. She dialed 7 or 8 more times, all with no answer. Jiang Linxue couldn't be bothered with anything else. She hurried to the garage and drove home. When Jiang Linxue arrived home, she saw the Jiang family villa draped in white satin. A funeral was clearly underway. As she got out of the car, Jiang Linxue's legs went weak. She almost collapsed to the ground. She walked with great difficulty to the villa's main entrance, scanned her face, and went inside. In the villa's courtyard, the Jiang family's relatives and friends were standing. They were dressed in solemn black suits, and in the center was a portrait of Jiang Linxue's father. Someone saw Jiang Linxue arrive and immediately came forward, yelling, "Jiang Linxue, get the hell out of here!" The speaker was a middle-aged man, her father's older brother, and her uncle, Jiang Zhen. "Second uncle, I'm not leaving." Jiang Zhen's eyes narrowed in a cold sneer. "You're not leaving? Your dad is dead. Your mom called you, wanting you to see him off one last time, and you blocked her. What were you doing then? Now you decide to show up? You bastard." "Second uncle, I didn't know. I really didn't know." Jiang Linxue's eyes brimmed with tears as she hung her head, shaking it repeatedly. "You didn't know? You didn't know your father was critically ill? Huh? How many times did your mom call you? You never answered once. You never came to visit once. You were just keeping company with that bastard. Well, great. Go on, go keep him company. No one will bother you two anymore." Jiang Zhen shouted. During this, the Jiang family members began to lash out at Jiang Linxue. That girl Xiaoxue seemed so nice when she was little. Who knew she'd grow up to be such a scoundrel? Isn't that the truth? You really can't judge a book by its cover. To abandon her own father for a man, I don't know if she did it on purpose or if she's just that stupid. Young Master Bai was so good to her back then. He was incredibly wealthy and handsome too. I can't believe she'd throw someone like that away for a pretty boy. I really don't know what she was thinking. "No, I won't go. I won't go, second uncle. Don't make me leave." Jiang Linxue's face flushed red with shame as she heard this, and she dropped directly to her knees. Just then, Mother Jiang walked over. "Second brother, let me talk to her." Jiang Linxue looked up and saw her mother's face, swollen from crying. Mother Jiang's face was devoid of expression as she said flatly, old Jiang's illness was getting better. The only thing he had to avoid was getting angry. But as fate would have it, he found out about the massive withdrawal of investment by the Jiang Group's shareholders. Your father couldn't handle the shock and passed away. In a moment, you will go and kowtow to your father, and then you will leave the Jiang family. Jiang Linxue's head snapped up. "Mom, what do you mean, leave the Jiang family? I'm your daughter, Mom." Mother Jiang roared. "Not since yesterday. As of yesterday, the bond between us as mother and daughter was severed." In the end, Jiang Linxue was driven out of the Jiang home by everyone. As she was thrown out, not a single person spoke up for her. Jiang Linxue collapsed in front of the gates of the Jiang family manor, her expression numb. This was her home, but now she had been cast out. She didn't blame anyone else, only herself for being so stupid. To throw away Bai Wuji, to willfully chase after a white moonlight. And now, her family was gone, the company was almost gone, everything was gone. 6 months later, at the Bai Group. President Bai, the Max Group is very satisfied with the first round of our partnership. They plan to send someone over next Monday to discuss the second round. Bai Wuji's secretary, Chun Ming, said with a smile, holding a file. Bai Wuji glanced through the file and nodded. How much are they planning to invest in the second round? The preliminary budget is $1.5 billion US. It seems the funding for the second round will be quite ample. Yes, President Bai. Or I understand. Reply to the Max Group and tell them I will personally attend on Monday. Yes, President Bai. HM, what is it? Something on your mind? Bai Wuji looked up and couldn't help but ask when he saw Chun Ming hesitating. President Bai, Chun Shuyun is dead. Chun Shuyun. Bai Wuji paused for a moment, then remembered. Chun Shuyun was Jiang Linxue's mother. After more than half a year, he had almost forgotten. Showing no emotional fluctuation, Bai Wuji asked casually, "How did she die?" I heard that after Song Yunxian applied for medical parole, he went to the Jiang residence. His original intention was to kill Jiang Linxue, but he couldn't find her, so he took it out on Chun Shuyun instead. They said the scene was quite brutal. Song Yunxian was arrested at the scene. It's estimated that he'll get the death penalty, or, at the very least, a life sentence. Bai Wuji let out a dry laugh. So, in other words, Jiang Linxue has finally succeeded in playing her parents to death. Chun Ming stifled a laugh. President Bai, when you put it that way, it doesn't seem wrong. Then her cheating on me and our separation. Was it a blessing in disguise for me? Ha! President Bai, thinking about it that way, it seems like no one who gets close to Jiang Linxue has a good end. Rain poured down as if from a torn sky, crashing against the asphalt with a deafening roar. Jiang Linxue ran barefoot in the middle of the road. The icy rain soaked through her white nightdress, the fabric clinging to her skin and outlining her gaunt figure. Her long, wet hair stuck to her cheeks and neck like countless black water snakes coiling around her. Why? Why? Her screams were swallowed by the thunder as she clawed at her own hair, her nails digging deep into her scalp. At this moment, Jiang Linxue was nothing like a normal woman. She sprinted wildly down the road, screaming, "Why? Why are you doing this to me?" Not far from her, the high beams of a truck pierced through the curtain of rain. But the torrential downpour had reduced visibility to almost zero. Jiang Linxue slowly turned around in the blinding glare of the headlights. In that moment, she actually felt a sense of release. Losing both her parents in the past 6 months had been a devastating blow. She could barely remember who she was anymore. The front of the truck slammed solidly into Jiang Linxue's body. In the instant of impact, the world shifted into slow motion. Jiang Linxue felt herself fly, her body as light as a feather. She saw the raindrops suspended in midair, saw the truck driver's face twisted in horror. Strangely, she felt no pain, only a peculiar sense of calm. Thud! Her body landed heavily on the pavement dozens of feet away, like a discarded rag doll. Blood spread rapidly from beneath her, diluted by the rain into a pale pink that flowed towards the gutter at the side of the road.